Dreamwork helps you achieve your life purpose. But can you achieve your entire life purpose while working a single dream? It turns out you can. Welcome to the Dream Interpretation Podcast with Michael and Sandy.
Hello. Welcome, everybody. Glad you're here.
So I've known for a long time that every time you work a dream, you get closer into alignment with your higher self. Remember, your higher self is the one that sent you here in the first place. So that alignment helps you understand why you're here. So doing dream work with the right dream worker for 10 weeks, for instance, can even get you onto the Dharmic path. But last week, I worked with John, and by working a single dream, he achieved more than his life purpose for this lifetime. And we're just going to go straight into that. Here's the dream.
All righty. Driving into a water canal, but we are okay. And this is from John. I am going to a party with a black guy and 2 women. I need a clean pair of slacks, so the guy takes our clothes to be cleaned. We are in a hotel waiting for the clothes and a ticket for entry. I'm chatting with the woman and start to change near the wall that provides a bit of privacy. He returns and he brought out a large group of people, about 20, with him. I walk out in my underwear and greet them all. Funny. They all look very serious. Next, I'm driving to a town that is on the beach. It's a party town. There are 2 women with me, a couple. One woman is in the back seat and the second is next to me on the left. What? I'm driving the car, and the car is a convertible. I asked the woman next to me where they are staying. She tells me, and I asked if she knows the address. I am driving fast behind another car filled with people. I look down to check my speed. Then the road changes from concrete to 1-lane water. Wow. As we hit the water, it sprays everywhere, and I end up on the left side of the canal. Then I pull the car over to a parking lot. The woman and I get out of the car and we look at the damage. The front grille and left front is dented, but not horrible. We look at the people from in front of us, and there are 8 to 10 women in the car, a convertible, and I yelled to the driver and asked, "Are you okay?" She nods. Then we both laughed. The damage is going to cost a lot. All righty, Michael. Let's see what you have to say about this dream.
When working a dream in this style, I'm connected to a team. One of the team members, in fact, defined the dream language. So they know exactly why you're having this dream. But here's something to realize. Dreams are not just little junkets. They're part of how you achieve your life purpose. When we first get the idea of coming to the earth plane, in fact, when we get the authorization to do it, we go into what's called a planning stage. And we sit with the planners, and they have basically planned our whole life out. And they show us all the things we're going to do and why we're going to do them, what we're going to achieve. Now, as part of coming here, of course, we get a veil applied. But before that happens, we connect into what I call a dream guide. And he delivers most of our dreams. Our dreams either come from him or they come from your higher self. And what he does is he's tapped into what your life purpose is, and he's helping you achieve parts of your life purpose. Like maybe you need to transmute some horrible energy that you've got on the other side and turn it into love. And so he's going to feed you little pieces of that in every dream that he sends, or some other things. Anyway, the point is, he's totally clued into what your life purpose is. He's totally clued into you. He understands everything about you because he stays connected to you all the way through your life until your life review at the very end. And what's interesting, they even review your response to some of your dreams. Anyway, I kind of sidetracked there. Didn't mean to do that. But the point is, dreams are an integral part of you achieving your life purpose. And this dream is about John's birth. Like we see right at the start, he's going to go to a party, waiting for a ticket. There's hotels mentioned. So we know reception at birth and everything, all that normal stuff that we would see is all part of it. When we look at it, we get that, yes, it's about birth, but it's about John holding himself back and wanting to be at his best. And we see that because he wants to get slacks and everything for this. Clothes and dreams represent attitude. So it's like, oh, everything has to be perfect. But that shouldn't be on your mind if you have symbols about birth. We don't come in going, oh my gosh, I need to have my best foot forward. That is not how it's meant to be. So because of how somebody is, because of how mom is, in particular for him, this is a stress point all the way through his life. He's always trying to put his best foot forward. He's always planning and preparing for when he's going to encounter people. That's not a normal situation. That's not the normal way to be. So when I channeled on it again in this type of session, it was interesting how, because of who I'm channeling, and they know exactly why the dream was delivered to John, they're saying, like, this is what we wanted to do. We want him to pick up that he's bad at social cues. And we see that in the dream because he comes out in his underwear trying to be funny, but everybody's still really serious. And so I asked him about that, and I'll talk about that in a second. But basically, he's bad at social cues. When other people are in the room, he goes into entertainment mode because he thinks that is what's expected of him. Now, that is not how we all are. Some people listening might be this way a bit. Life is all about us discovering who we are, learning about ourselves, learning to love ourselves, all those various different things. But if you're in entertainment mode, anytime somebody else is around, then you're never going to discover who you are. So continuing with the channeling, these are all like a slap in the face. And Sandy, you can interrupt here if you want. So they said, you're bad at social cues. It's like, oh, okay. You're making me say this to my client. Other people's company bothers him all the time. All other people's company bothers him. And so when I asked him about that, he says, yeah, I feel like I have to prepare. So no matter who's going to come in to the room, I have to be prepared for them coming into the room. His mind never stops, even when he's by himself. That has to be exhausting. So what I've already described as mind never stopping, feeling like he has to prepare, missing social cues, they aren't his problems. You don't come here to fix those. They are the symptoms of the problem. And his team, they said during this analysis, what they typically do, or what they always do, is they address the problem. And that's what they were going to get to during this dream session. That's what they promised. And they delivered. The entertainment is a persona that he tries to create. So it's not even him. And then he has to live up to that entertainment style. And it doesn't always work. He's afraid for people to see him because he doesn't feel he's enough. Now, that's one you might have heard before. And you're like, okay, well, what do I do with that? But it's still, what they're doing here is they're painting a picture of, this is what we see. This is what we know about you. There's no finger wagging. There's no anything like that. It's like, we want you to know that we understand your pain. We see your pain. We see all the things that are happening to you and all the pain that you're putting yourself through. And even when he does the entertainment, he doesn't feel validated. So they're very picky on the word they wanted to use. So he does it to feel validated, but he doesn't get that validation. And he said, like, when he tries and then it doesn't work, he gives up. And then he's like, well, F you, you don't get me. Now, that's only internally. Nobody knows that's how he's feeling. And his guides were like, we like that version of you because that's you being honest with yourself, which is interesting because you would think they would say, hey, that's not really good. So basically, he goes through life feeling rejected in company, feeling rejected in life. And again, you're like, okay, I wish your guides would start digging up because this is all painting such a terrible picture that John's going to be in a puddle on the floor in front of me with all the tears. But like I said, the dream guide feels your pain with you because he's staying connected to you all through your life. But he sees it from the source of your life, from the purpose of your life. And he feeds you as much as you can take so that you can transmute it bit by bit by bit in your dreams and then in your life. So what his guide said at that point was he could get help from his guides to evaporate the pain of these moments. So after an event, even a few days after it, so not during it, what they wanted him to do was look past the pain to see something beautiful in yourself, because that's why it's painful. There's something beautiful that isn't seen, you know it's not seen, and that hurts you. And so that was quite interesting. So they're saying, these situations happen. After they happen, this is what we want you to do. Look and reevaluate the situation, evaluate yourself, not the other people, and evaluate why it hurts you so much. And then they're going to help you evaporate that pain. And this is part of what his life purpose is about. For John, sadness and love are connected within him. he says that you have to be sad when you're in love. It's that connected for him. Now, that's not true, but that's how he feels. Um, and what his team said is he can get to a point where the love is expressed in a different way other than sadness. But sadness in other people is his Achilles heel. He doesn't like to see it, so he jumps into entertainment mode, et cetera, like everything we've been saying. Sandy, you were very quiet so far.
Well, I'm absolutely blown away by what you're getting in this dream. And I'm also thinking, I feel so sad for John. What his life must have been really, really hard for him to have to always put up the energy to put up a front or a persona that I'm going to entertain and have fun. Even in all of his relationships, he's probably been that way. I'm talking friendships, everything. That is really hard.
And nobody would know. That's the really painful part, that he's gone through the life feeling rejected, doing his best to get accepted and validated, and it's not working. But this is where it really took a shift, because I was in this channeled state while looking at the dream. And what they shared with me was why he picked this life, why he picked this hard life. And so essentially, before coming to the earth plane, we don't know when, but over a long period of time, a female spirit forced him to see the world, and I mean, spirit world, the way that they wanted him to see it. And in the spirit world, he still has difficulty with this. And the whole mission in this lifetime, and mission with his mom, and he has a very difficult relationship with his mom, she's passed, is to help him anchor that in this physical lifetime. And his mom was this way. He had to see the world the way she wanted him to see it. No other way was accepted. And that's how she was with all her kids. And it's a constant source of torment to him, even though his mom has passed. And they said, so basically you had this very controlling, powerful spirit forcing you to see the world their way, against your will, but you'd no way around it. And so in this lifetime, you needed a mother who was going to force you to see the world her way. And what they said was, in his life review, so he would never get through it in this lifetime. He would never clear it. But in his life review, he would get a release from it, but not a full release. Like hit the point like he does afterwards saying, F you, I don't care about you. And he was going to get a bigger release of that in his life review because of the way his mom was and because of the way his life went and how ruined it got by all of this. And you're like, okay, that's quite interesting. But they said it's only going to be a bit. It'll just erase some of the trauma of that experience in the spirit world. And then they said, so that was his life purpose, to clear a piece of this. So he's going to come back and do it again. But then they said, now that you're aware, we want you to ask us and your higher aspect to remove this spirit's forced control over you from the spirit world while you're incarnated here.
Ooh,
A simple request.
that's powerful, Michael.
Absolutely. And so he got into the right state. He asked, I was watching, they said, yeah, he asked it properly. And they go, that's it done. It's gone now. It's not even going to be part of the life review that we're waiting to release this bit. So they said, with the awareness that came from the dream and with asking them to do it, because they can't do it unless they're asked, he has actually achieved way more than what his life purpose was meant to achieve in this regard. Like, that's absolutely amazing. And it's going to have changed his life. But it's just stunning that you can get this from a single dream. And then once you know what it is, once you know what it means, they can say, ask us to do more. And the way they kind of explain it is, while you're here, because your consciousness has moved down into this plane behind the veil, they can work on you on the other side, but they need your permission because the you that gives the permission is here. And so once you give that permission and you say, this is the way it is, well, they said you don't even need to give us permission. They just said, ask us to do it. This is always an interesting thing. We've said it on many shows. You don't need to give permission to beings in the light to help you, especially beings in the light that are part of your team and are here helping you achieve all the things you need to do. A way to get tricked and infiltrated is to give permission. So typically you don't have to any beings that are in the light. You just need to ask them to do something for you and that they will do it. But I just found it absolutely amazing. We will see over the next few weeks how much it has impacted John in his life. But it absolutely terrific dream and a terrific result from doing that work.
Wow, what an amazing dream. Can we go back through it and I could ask some questions about it?
Absolutely.
So you mentioned the party. What about the black guy and two women?
So we see women are predominant in this dream because the issues are with mom and they're with this other spirit in the spirit world. But again, we wouldn't typically know that on this side of the veil. And the black man then is fears, like an uncomfortableness, a negativity. Black in a dream, nothing to do with black men in reality, but black in a dream, when somebody points it out, whether it's a black coat, black anything, is going to be some fear or issue you need to deal with, or the root of a problem.
Yeah, and it's the guy that takes the clothes to the cleaners for him. Okay, so let's see. That he's got a ticket that he's waiting for entry. And I'm assuming that's to the party.
Yeah, so it's like this is him coming to his own birth and he doesn't feel prepared and ready for it. So mom must have been absolutely terrible altogether because, oh, I need a ticket to get in. It's any party in a dream is your party. It's your birth. It's like celebrating your birth. The thing we celebrate every single year. We throw a party for ourselves, all our friends throw parties for us. So it's like, it's the big thing. So any party in a dream is going to be about your birth. So he doesn't even feel like he's ready for this. So this is how far back this goes. So we know it's an issue from the spirit world, or at least an issue from his time in the womb, where he just doesn't feel prepared. But when we marry the two together and we get how his mom was, we're able to connect that up and go, okay, this is you never feeling ready. But like he said, if company's going to come over, he always feels like he has to prepare, no matter who it is.
Yeah, so and then he's chatting with the woman and starts to change near the wall. So very interesting. Is that something that you would think happened in his dream? I know, but I mean, was that a part of being in the spirit world preparing to come down?
Well, he's looking for privacy near the wall. So he has this way of operating. I keep myself private, and then when I'm ready, I step out. So I like a wall. We typically see this wall in dreams where somebody's like 2 or 3, the wall's already there. So it's like I hide myself here, and then when I'm ready, I'm going to step out from behind the wall. Now he's just near it, but it still means the same thing. And it's always issues with mom that cause this sense of I don't feel like I belong, or I need to keep myself private. So we see it in the dream, saying that this happened at a very early age for him.
Yeah. And then the guy returns and he's brought a large group of people, about 20.
Yeah, so he wasn't happy with that. And the two in this dream is all about sharing. And this is where he has the difficulty. And this is why I was channeling on social cues. Like, what does he share? But he shares this persona that he creates, an entertainment persona, which is entertaining for other people, but it doesn't achieve anything for him except giving him the privacy that he looks for. It's one of those things that I want to be validated, but I also want to hide who I am. Well, you can't do both. You can't hide and be validated. But this is kind of the dichotomy we have. The issues we have get in the way of us achieving the very thing we think we're looking for.
Oh, that explains where when he walks out with his underwear and he greets them all, he says funny, but they all look very serious.
So when I was channeling on that piece, they said, like, think of it like when you're a child and you're wearing a diaper. It just looks, you've a diaper and underwear on, and that's it. And so it's really a reflection back to an age, because this isn't something he would do in reality.
No, I don't know anybody that would do that. But anyways, the fact that they're very serious, what's up with that?
So he's trying to be funny and entertaining, and they don't get it. They don't get him. And he shared some experiences, like where one person was retiring and he wrote a poem, recited the poem that was really deep, and then he sang a song. And he said it was just absolutely amazing. People loved it, loved it, loved it. But then for the whole rest of that party, he sat on his own. Nobody came near him. And that exemplifies the type of anguish. You know, it's not just that he's sitting on his own. He may as well be on fire because of the feelings he's feeling while being on his own. It's a horrible situation for him. And that's how life is for him, though.
Wow, that's sad. It's really hard. And then, okay, he's driving. I love the fact that he's driving and he's going to the beach, a party town. So that's pretty cool.
Birth again, because it's a party town and it's about celebrating the fact that you're here.
And the beach?
A spiritual life. So he is a very spiritual person. So going to the beach and then ending up in the water and the canal and all that keeps it spiritual. It is a spiritual mission for him this lifetime.
And he's back to the two women with one in the back seat and then the second one next to him on the left. And being from the United States, usually the driver is on the left. So he is wondering what's going on, but he's still driving and the car is a convertible. You want to explain?
So he is on the left because it is in the States. And there's also a woman beside him. So this is the encroaching of mom and this other spirit. That it's like, this is crazy. What is going on here? Like, I have no space. Like, think back to the wall that he moved to at the start of the dream. So he has no privacy and he has no viewpoint of his own. But he's suffered that for a long time in the spirit world. That's the issue he wants to get to here in the earth plane, which he did through a very domineering, controlling mom. And, when we look at that, normally we'd go, what a horrible experience. What a waste of life. What a waste of, and it's not. The spirit world is saying this is exactly what you needed because that's the issue you're trying to fix.
Yeah. And then what about the car being a convertible?
That's really good. A convertible is, in terms of a spiritual dream, it's the one you want to have. It's like you have an open mind, your open connection to the spirit world. Just the openness of it is very good, especially when it comes to like all the women that we have in the dream and the fact it's all about expression of who he is and understanding himself.
Yeah. So he is driving fast. The car is filled with people and he looks down to check the speed and the road changes from concrete to a 1-lane water. So we've got concrete to water.
So he's meant to get into the spiritual field, which he has done, but he did it later in life. Like he retired. He's never been afraid to work on himself. He's worked on himself for a very long time. And it's great when you get somebody who's done that work, because when you start looking at the dreams and working on issues, they already know themselves. They're like, yeah, I know this issue. It's come up before. I understand its origin and all that sort of stuff. But you mightn't necessarily clear it. Like, what conventional therapist is going to go, oh, well, here's the issue you have in the spirit world that you're trying to fix. And that's the mistake we make in the physical world. We look at everything from a physical world only perspective. And it's not even close to being true. Like, if you said, well, I could live my life that way, you're coming here because you're a spirit. You have an issue as a spirit, and it's been deemed that living an earth life is going to help you deal with a spiritual issue that you have, or an issue you have in the spirit world. That's the whole point of your physical life. So if you leave out that side of the coin, you're missing the most important thing.
Excellent. Okay, so he hits water, it sprays everywhere, but then he ends up on the left side of the canal. So I'm assuming that's out of the water onto the bank?
Well, he says it's a canal. So again, a canal is a body of water. So water represents the spirit world. A canal is a body of water whose flow is controlled by man-made structures. And that fits with the experience he had in the spirit world. His view and his direction was completely controlled by this other spirit that was stronger than him. And so we have that happening in the dream, the car going into the water, but it's a positive thing. It's not bad that it happened to him in the dream. And he survives it. And he's saying, yeah, there's going to be a price for this, but he's paying the prices. The price is his life, the life he's playing, and the difficulty he has in it. But then we see all the women at that point. So it's the feminine side is what he's working on for a few reasons, but mainly because the spirit that affected him was female.
Oh, very interesting. And then there's damage. And so that's what you were referring to, the way he's had to live his life.
Well, he knows there's a price to pay. So, and that's an awareness in the dream. Like, I'm going to have to get this fixed. So where I stand in my life, I have problems. And these problems are going to cost me. Now, in the dream, it manifests as problems with the car. And the front of the car is going to be about the future. What part of the car does he actually say?
Front grille and left front is dented. The front grille and left front is dented.
Okay, so the left is the feminine side. He ends up on the left feminine side. That's all good in the dream. And he talks to all these other women in the dream, feminine side. And it's sharing. Remember, sharing is the whole part of the dream. And sharing is a feminine energy trait. Like being open, being able to express yourself and being vulnerable. Not just, I'm going to put this entertainment persona out there. That's not sharing at all. That's being present in the room, but nobody sees you. Nobody knows anything about you. All they can see is the entertainment role that you're playing. So here it's all about expressing yourself, being yourself. So he knows at this point in the dream, I have an issue, and there's going to be a price that I have to pay to fix this. So he's not afraid of that. I like that he's laughing at the end of the dream. Still a good end to the dream, because it's like, okay, there's something I still need to do. A lot of people do work on themselves and they go, that's it, I don't want to do any more. That is not who this person is. He's very good at saying, okay, what do I need to do? I know I'm not there yet. And that's reflected in this dream.
So I find it interesting. It's 8 to 10 women in the car that he yells over to. So you want to comment on the number 8 to 10?
It's going to be an age, ages 8 to 10. That's going to be when things kind of got derailed for him. So we see in dreams, it's kind of like it's like hopping a stone across a lake. And they bring us back and then further back and then further back and further back. Or they might start early on and then showing the ripple effect of that problem in my life. So we know starting off early, because of the 20 and the 2, that major issues around 2, which is when we usually see the wall up and we see him over near the wall changing or whatever it was he was doing at the wall. So we see that privacy, you want privacy there. And then later on, we see I'm now off the rails. He's not on the road anymore, and he's got damage to the car. So it's like, I got to work on myself. I got to do some work. And a car is about achieving your goals. But while he was driving this car, which is great to have in a dream, you're the driver, there's still this influential woman who's sitting to his left when there's no space for anybody to sit to your left in an American car. So that's the problem that he's got to deal with. And this is the price of that problem. And he sees it in the dream, which is cool.
That is, what an amazing dream. I'm like blown away. And I get why you say it's great that they both started laughing and they know the damage is going to cost a lot, but they're laughing because they're safe.
So anyway, that's our dream. I really love it because I love how it looked like we're just telling you all terrible things, like all about your pain, and you're having to admit it to somebody in a Dreamwork session. Like, that's hard to do. And that's the place we were in. But then they said, look, this is okay, it'll get better. And then they revealed this, like, this is what you're trying to work on in your life. And we can help you if you just simply ask. And you can't ask in advance. You can't say, hey, when I come here, take care of all my problems. You have to consciously ask. And so our dreams and examining our dreams is going to give us that amazing detail that we need. Absolutely mind-blowing.
That was an absolutely mind-blowing dream. I'm completely blown away by it. And I love, love, love the ending. I had no idea that life could be this difficult. And he had it all hidden. All hidden. Wow. Amazing.
And then realize, of course, it's not just looking at the dream. You can figure dreams out, but channeling is a super important part of the work because it lets you look beyond the dream. It lets you ask, and lets me ask the guide I talked to, like, why did he have the dream? What is the purpose behind this? And it's absolutely amazing. And you wanted to talk about our course.
I do. So we have a channeling course. It just started on February 1st. And so you're not too late to join us. I'll tell you, channeling will change your life. It's helped both of us and many, many more people. Everybody that's taken our channeling course ends up channeling, and it can change their life. It can stop them from spending money on things that they really don't need or is not in their best interest, like courses that they should or should not take. It guides on food. It guides on, should we go here for a vacation? Just, there's so many things. And once you learn to channel, it's so powerful.
If you're interested in that, if you're wondering if channeling is for you, you can go to dream-analysis.com/channel, and you can look at a webinar that we gave just last week, and you can book Sandy or even email Sandy from there. All the links are on that page, dream-analysis.com/channel. Sandy can check for you either on a call with you or if you just email, and she can tell you whether this course is in alignment with your life purpose. We don't want the karma for telling you it is when it's not. So you're going to get an honest answer.
Yeah, there's been times where I've had to tell people, no, that this is not the time. You have to wait. And it was interesting because a lady that ended up waiting, she went and did some healing work on herself. And now she came back and said, hey, I think I'm ready. And I got that. Yes, it's a good time for you to do it now. So it's interesting.
All right. Well, that's it. That's our show for this week. I do hope you enjoyed it. We will see you next week.
Have a great week. Thank you, everybody.